Hey everybody, welcome to the DA Wrestling Podcast here. I am your host, Andrew Purcell. This here is Doug. We are just 24 hours away after that insane press conference that was just happened with The Rock basically turning bloody heel, right? And Cody challenging Roman, and Seth being left basically in the dark here as to who he's going to challenge. Now, SmackDown was a very interesting show. Doug here is going to tell us all about SmackDown tonight because we want to know what went on. And we're personally wanting to just react to see what's going on here because right now, I'm a little confused. I mean, it's kind of interesting what's going on. But first, Doug, how's your day? Let us know about SmackDown.
Long day, dude. Fridays are always long, but I'm here. I'm ready.
Awesome. Everybody, if you're liking the content here, make sure you like, share, subscribe to all things we're doing here. Follow us on Podbean, follow us on Spotify, follow us on TikTok, all those places there. But right now, let's just get to the SmackDown because I want to know what went on SmackDown because it seems to me that Triple H was going to open the show.
Yes, so Triple H came out to open the show,
Yeah.
um, and basically went on to say that The Rock tried to assert authority last night that he doesn't have, and that the only person with any type of authority right now is Triple H himself. And
It's a
then
fair
he
assessment.
he clarified
Yes.
that the main event will in fact be Roman and Cody for the title. Um,
Excellent. I think that's what the
yeah,
fans want. I think everybody want. I know a lot of people on Twitter, they were very happy and we got what we want kind of thing that was going on Twitter. So it seems to be people be very happy about what's going on.
yeah. So there was a segment later in the night where Heyman interrupted a conversation between Braun Breaker and Triple H,
Yeah.
uh, where um, Heyman basically said that he's coming back to SmackDown next week with Roman and The Rock.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. So after Triple H's promo in the ring to open the show, they addressed Seth Rollins and what's going to happen to him.
Oh, fantastic.
And Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce decided that uh, out of a pool of 12 superstars,
12
six are
superstars.
gonna yes, six are gonna enter the Elimination Chamber, and qualifying matches started tonight.
Awesome. So
With
I'm assuming it's between Raw and SmackDown stuff.
yeah,
Okay.
so the first match was Drew McIntyre and AJ Styles.
Really?
Yes,
Uh,
and LA Knight came out with commentary. He's
okay.
also part of this.
Okay.
Uh, so good match, back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
AJ was working the knee of McIntyre. They go outside. Uh, Drew throws AJ into LA Knight, who
Really?
proceeds to spit water on AJ and then offers water to AJ. AJ punches LA Knight, which they get back in the ring. Drew misses a claymore.
Mm.
AJ goes for a small package, but LA Knight's distracting the refs, so AJ pops him again, turns around, boom, claymore. Drew's going on to Elimination Chamber.
Kind of disappointing for AJ Styles, to be honest with you. I'd rather
I
see Styles in that match, but I understand what's going on. It's fair enough.
I don't know.
We've already
Um,
talked.
there was a there was a women's eliminator or elimination chamber qualifying match after
Yes.
that. Bianca versus Misha and Bianca won
That
KOD.
that's pretty much a given.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, Bianca won with the KOD. She's joining Becky in the chamber, as we all thought.
Yeah, I don't think that's a
Uh,
surprise to anybody, especially anybody listening at all right now.
well, remember how I said on Monday that that match between DIY, Pete Dunne, and Tyler Bate would bang?
It was a banger, wasn't it?
That shit didn't disappoint.
Not surprising. So can I take a wild guess as to who won here, or do you want to
Sure.
tell? I think I think it was Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate.
You'd be correct.
Oh, it's kind of surprising. Part of me thought it was gonna be DIY. To be honest,
They threw everything at each other, and the end basically came. DIY was setting up for meet in the middle on bait,
Yep.
and Dunn popped up after taking a suicide dive DDT by Johnny Gargano.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, but he finally got up and snapped the fingers of Ciampa,
Okay.
which led to bait and Gargano, blind tag by Dunn,
Yep.
uh, and eventually Dunn hit the bitter end on Gargano.
I love that bitter end. I swear to God, I love that move.
Yeah, I think it's one of the coolest moves out there. But
Yeah.
yeah, so Elimination Chamber is going to be Dunn and Bate versus Priest and Balor.
You think that's where they lose the titles, or you think it's going to be one of those WrestleManias that because I know you went on record saying it's going to be Awesome Truth.
Yeah, I still think that there's legs to the story with R-Truth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, and Dunn and Bate are still very new as a tag team, so I do think that Priest and Balor will win at the Chamber and probably drop them at WrestleMania.
Uh-huh. Fair enough.
Yeah.
They've held those titles for a while, actually. They've held those titles for quite a while, actually, those two.
Yeah.
Just several months now, actually.
Oh, pardon me.
Oh, no worries.
So after that, there was a promo from Bayley came out, and this basically solidified Bayley's babyface turn.
Did she come out to the whole Bayley buddies?
No.
Thank God.
It wasn't. She still got her theme music.
Okay, good.
Like everything, and so.
So,
Uh,
so the world's our oyster.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh.
Bayley got a promo thanking everybody for staying with her throughout the years and all that fun stuff, and that prompted Dakota Kai to come out.
Okay, this should be interesting.
And yeah, and trying to defend like where she was last week. Apparently, she had doctors to see because she's close to returning.
Which is good. It'd be nice to see Dakota Kai back. I mean, she's been out for over a year now, right?
Yeah, dealing with an ACL.
Yeah.
And so then that prompted the other three, Sky, Asuka, and Kyrie, to come down, circle the ring.
Yep.
Dakota leaves the ring but comes back in the chair. Looks like she's gonna hit Bayley, and then takes out the other three. So it looks like Dakota's siding with Bayley.
That's kind of interesting, actually, to be honest with you.
At least for now.
Yeah, it almost seems like it's a little bit of a work right now. It's almost like we're gonna see the true colors happen. This might go on for maybe about 2 months. I think. I mean, I don't think it will, but it might go on for another 2 months till May until it's revealed, and it might cost Bayley. I don't know. I don't understand why they would do that, but it might cost Bayley.
No, I think the turn will happen in a couple weeks, and then that'll just be part of the lead up.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the final, after that, like I kind of went out of order here, but it basically leads to the main event of Randy Orton and Sami Zayn.
They're both in a chamber match, or at least a qualifying match for the chamber.
Another chamber qualifying match. Okay. Another good back and forth, and Randy Orton is a master at this. Yeah. Okay. So he broke out the superplex for the first time since he came back.
Okay.
And was selling his back like he had me convinced he might have tweaked something, but yeah, I think he's fine. So just back and forth, Zayn counters an RKO into a Blue Thunder Bomb for a 2 count, avoids a second RKO, runs in, leapfrogs behind Randy,
Yeah.
but then Randy drops him with the RKO, picks up the win. And then to end the show, Drew McIntyre re-entered the ring and they kind of stared off because, we love revisiting things.
Yeah.
Call back to their feud over the WWE title in 2020.
That was honestly, that was a really good feud.
It's one of the best parts of the pandemic, really.
Yeah,
Like the Thunderdome
yeah,
era.
like people like to crap on the Thunderdome a lot, but like to be honest, it was really good for the most part during the whole time period. Like a lot of people crap on it, but like it was actually quite good. There were some really good matches. I remember well, Roman's match against Kevin Owens was pretty good, right?
Roman had many good matches
Yeah.
during the Thunderdome.
Well, that's when he first got the title too.
Both with Jay, both of the matches with Jay.
Yeah.
Um, the run of matches he had with Owens,
Yeah.
even that random Hell in a Cell match with Rey Mysterio.
Yeah. There were some really good matches during that
Yeah.
that time. I mean,
But
it was
even
a
so,
weird period, but it was a good time.
yeah, but even so, McIntyre and Orton, like
Yeah.
they had the ambulance match, they had a Hell in a Cell match of their own.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, just
Randy had a match. I mean, it was a pay-per-view match, but it was with Edge, the greatest wrestling match ever. It's really good. So, I mean, I thought it was good. I don't know if it was the greatest match ever. It's hard to
yeah.
say which was
Well,
which, but
that was like really early pandemic, but that
yeah,
was they still went like 45 minutes.
yeah, it was good. It was good. Like the pandemic is, despite of what it wasn't bad for TV. Even AEW was really good at that point in time too. Like I so it's you can argue that AEW was much better during the pandemic.
I do believe, and quote me if, and someone can quote or correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Edge and Orton from WrestleMania 36 is the longest non-Iron Man match in WrestleMania history at like 48 minutes.
It's a possibility. I mean, honestly, it's a good possibility.
Yeah,
That did match did go on a long time. I mean, I did be honest, like a lot of people like to forget about that WrestleMania and all stuff, But quite frankly, I liked.
there's some good stuff on that
I
show.
didn't mind it.
Yeah.
There was a lot like the John Cena Fiend match was really good. Like despite how crazy it was, and then of course you can't forget the Boneyard match with AJ Styles. Right, that was like a really
Yep.
good. And that was Undertaker's really last match, and that was a really good match for what it was. It
So
was really.
overall, SmackDown it was okay. Um,
Um,
Again, you got progression. They addressed the elephant in the room after last night.
yeah,
Um, we have a clear direction,
yeah,
and now what's teased for next week is Roman and Rock seemingly on the same page.
yeah. That's gonna be to see where that story goes next little bit. I mean, it's funny. Like Rock was on the Pat McAfee show, and he did mention during the press conference too. Uh, he's not wrong when he says his story with Roman's kind of been going on longer. He's not really wrong. I mean, as soon as the whole head of
Well,
the table thing came out, he said he was the head of the
according to
table.
The Rock, that's yeah.
Yeah,
According to The Rock, that's when their story started. Is
yeah,
when he first said he was the head of the stable.
yeah. And I can understand where he's coming from with that because he makes a valid point, right? Like it is
Right,
a
because
valid point.
immediately I remember during that point, I remember when Roman started saying that, like everybody immediately was like, okay, well, aren't you The Rock's cousin?
Yeah. Well, that's just it, right? I completely understand, but that's the thing too. Like having a match, like the way they were having like setting up the match at the press conference, like they're like, oh, they were gonna do this like buddy buddy kind of thing. It doesn't work that way. Like you got to have one be a good guy, one be a bad guy in that sense, because one's gonna want to, you know, have more claim. Like The Rock has more. To me, The Rock kind of has claim to that, but it's whatever. Like when you think about it, what the Rock's done compared to
in
Reigns.
terms of the rest, but in terms of the wrestling portion, Roman can't be touched. Okay,
Not
I
at this
think
point.
Roman, outside of promo ability, I think that even so, Roman's a more in-depth character than Rock ever was.
Yeah, it's
In
also
in
different
his
time.
peak.
It's also different time periods though. At the same time, right?
Sure.
It's like when you think about that time period with The Rock compared to the time period with Roman. Um, you look at that era. That was a different era. Like you had guys like Triple H, like Austin.
Yeah,
You know what I
I'm
mean?
saying like I'm saying Roman has more depth to his character. That's all.
Okay.
Like like I but I think that even 2023 Roman Reigns or 2024 Roman Reigns would, as a worker, is probably on par with, your 2000 Rock,
Yeah.
you know? And people can come at me on
No.
socials about that.
No. Comment
I
down
am more
below.
than willing. Yeah, I'm more than willing to defend myself on that one. But
No, it's like it was like they're two like it's like they're two different eras. Okay, like in every era, everybody said like for instance, people like to
right,
compare. We'll go NFL here really quickly here because I'm an NFL guy, right? Everybody always goes, who's going to do the next perfect season? Perfect season, the Patriots came close in 2007, right? But everybody's like comparing all the 72 Dolphins. They're two different time periods, you know.
sure,
Like the 72 Dolphins had a shorter schedule, right? You can argue it was probably, you can argue the games were much stiffer and tougher, right?
right,
At the time, right? But then you come to the era where you had, there was a lot more, there's more teams, more games. So it's a different era. It wouldn't be the same. Like if you had a team now in the NFL go perfect, it doesn't negate the 72 Dolphins whatsoever. It's two
no,
different eras. You can't compare the two. One had a 12 to 13 game season. The other one has, let's see, is the 18 game season now. You're looking at what?
21 games.
21 games. That's a massive difference. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
And and players
because
are more prone to injury now because they played on one more grass back then compared to what they now is more ash, more of a turf.
yeah,
So
no, no, I'm with you. I'm just see that's what's fun about wrestling though is like yes, the standard of work rate has gone significantly up over the years,
yeah,
but it's like you can put a match that happens now, like a main event level match.
yeah,
Okay, I know he's getting the, you know, he's getting the treatment right now. Actually, I'll give a better example. Kevin Owens or Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn last February.
yeah,
Okay, like you could put that match right in the heart of the Attitude Era, and because of the story and emotion, because
yeah,
that's Roman Reigns' wheelhouse
yeah,
is the storytelling,
mm,
it would fit perfectly into the Attitude Era
yeah,
because that's all Russo's booking was about, was storytelling,
yeah. And that's kind of really at times what wrestling
right?
is stories,
So exactly. So
short stories.
I'm just saying, in terms of wrestling,
Mm.
Roman's claim to be the head of the table, I mean, I think is more than valid.
Yeah. They
Um,
both have they both have Rock and Roll both have very
I'm
good
interested to
arguments.
see I'm interested to see what The Rock looks like after not being in the ring for 11 years.
Well, from what I understand, from what The Rock has said, I'm sure he's telling the truth when he talked to Pat McAfee, that training camp for this has already started. He said he already has rings set up, all over the place, and I guarantee you he's. But there's training, and then there's ring rust, then there's actually having a match.
There's reps. There's
Yeah.
reps, absolutely. Like
Yeah.
you can say the same thing about the NXT guys and
Yeah.
being down at the performance center. You can put in all the reps you want, but like until you're out there with a live audience,
Yeah.
you have to feed off that. And don't get me wrong, I don't doubt The Rock's ability to do that.
No, I'm sure The Rock could probably walk in there.
He's one of the best to do that. He's one of the best to do that of all time.
I mean, he took
I'm
time off and came back to fight Cena. He looked like he not lose a step. So
yeah, but that wasn't even shorter. That was a shorter layoff, though.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
that was only between 2004 and 2012, so 8 years.
Yeah.
Um,
and age plays a factor as well. Age plays a factor. Now he's what?
Yeah, exactly.
50 something.
51, 52.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good for 52.
Yeah.
I mean, he's no slouch for 52.
Yeah. But on that note, I'm gonna take us home. It's late.
True. Yeah, it's late. Let's call this. Let's call this one here.
Right, but right before I do that, we just hit 600 downloads earlier this afternoon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Also, did you know, in more current event news, that today was the warmest February 9th ever recorded?
Oh, I've heard a lot of people talking about this. Yes.
And we beat the record by 5 degrees.
Oh, Jesus.
The record was 10.8 degrees Celsius. Back in 1938, and today was like 15 degrees.
Yeah, really worrisome if you're, all about the earth and climate and all that stuff. Very worrisome for February.
Oh, don't worry. It'll be cold and snowing by like next Tuesday.
Yeah, from what I understand, it's supposed to be really crap next week. And then, surprise, surprise, around my birthday, historically, within about a week or so of my birthday, there's usually a snowstorm or something that really fucks people's shit up. So we'll see.
I'm still waiting for it, to be honest, this year. But on that note, thank you for listening. Go find us on YouTube, DA Wrestling Podcast. Find the show, DA Sports Podcast, on Instagram, DA Sports Pod on X. And then you can find him at 8%1982 on Instagram, Andrew DA Sports on TikTok. I am D Lines 1991, exhausted and can't think straight, but we'll catch you down the road.
New Harry Potter spell I never done yet. Bombardo needs to create an explosion. Bombardo.